Introduction to code switching. Code switching in mobile phones. In this era of globalization and modernization, many of people will use more than one or more language in the conversation and community. The term of code switching, or sometimes may be right in code switching or code switching. This is broadly used and discussed in a variety of related fields and linguistics. A database on the 2005 year, a search of the language behavior abstract, and the linguistic shows more than 1,800 articles on the subject published in virtually on every branch of the linguistics. Nevertheless, despite on this ubiquity, or perhaps in part of it, the scholarship does not seem to share the definition of the terms. Aside from that, this perhaps inevitable, given from the different concerns of the linguists, such like anthropologists, psycholinguists, social linguists, philosophers, and so on. Since the code switching is studied from many and different perspectives, the paper will necessarily seem to omit the important elements to the literature. On the other hand, many of works are labeled code switching. This is interest in more syntactic content and syntactic on language alternation. Alternately, the studies of language acquisition, the second language acquisition, and the language of using the term code switching to describe either language learners or bilingual speakers, cognitive linguist language. To describe the classroom or the learner's practice involving the using of the more than one or more language. The code switch refers to the difference of speech in the content. For example, the formal language or informal language are different languages like Spanish and English. The students who were bilingual or came from the different culture and background are noted their ability code switch. Because of the standard language are not their primary language, and this matter, let the student added effort to speak accordingly in the standard from one language to another. These are the factors that cause ESL learners to code switch. First is mother language. Since they are child, they are speaking with the mother's language and do not use the English language to speaking to each other. So this matter will cause the children stammer when they speaking the English to others. To further illustration on this point, for the Indian, they will speak in Tamil. For the Malay people, they will speak in Malay. For the Chinese people, they will speak in Cantonese or Chinese. Since they were still small, their parents and family never instilled the other language such as English language. So lead their children who cannot understand the English and speaking with the English very well. The second is parents' education. For those parents who just study for a few years, their academic and language level just common, and cannot teach and correct their child very well and formal. Sometimes, they speaking with a broken language in front of their child. Then their child suit their parents too. Owing to this matter, the relevant parents cannot become a good role model to the children. On the contrary, for the family which is the economy is better, they never and not allow their children to the learning central for have a better learning. Their purpose is save the money so they never send the children to the learning central. Thus, they prepare to spend on something not worth it, like the famous brand of bags, shirts, watch, and a lot. The third one is teachers' education. Basically, The school education was the formal to every student. Nonetheless, some teacher was never correct student mistake. For instance, when the students was saying, "Teacher, boleh saya pergi toilet?" Actually, the teacher may correct the sentence to, "Teacher, may I go to toilet?" With this, many of the teachers were often neglect it and never correct it. So this may cause the students to be a habit. Above all, the teacher who teaching the English lesson should organize some activities all about the English language. But they do not do it. This is because some of the teacher was busy for their own personal things or lazy to organize it. The fourth one is education. Based to the Chinese, Indian, and Malay people, they were not all the people that educated by the English. On the contrary, mostly parents were sent them to the school which is suited to their own race school. Owing to this reason, the language they mostly learning is their own language, although have learning the English. Nevertheless, even they have the learning English skill, but they will spoke out their own language at wherever, even if the school too. Methods to overcome code switching. First, school education. Every school must educate the children correctly, especially kindergarten, primary school, and secondary school. This is because the basic is learned since a child. The school should arrangement some teacher who was professional in English language so that they can teach the students speaking in English or teaching the writing skill too. Aside from that, the school might organize some activities about the language of this English. We can take the example is the English program, seminars, competition of the English story, oral English tests, and so on about the English activities. This is due to the reason that students, participants, and activities above can train their courage and would not be afraid when faced the problem of speaking in English, and would not be a stammer when speaking in English. Second, parents' education. Every parent should be a good and perfect role model to their own child. This is because whatever parents did, the children will follow it, like copy and paste. Henceforth, if the parents who cannot speak out the English as well as possible, then do not say it out. This attitude was to prevent the children to learn this and speak like this. Frankly saying, every parent should send their children to the central which is learning the English. Many studies have pointed out that learning at the Learning English Central can learn many of the things which is include the grammar, writing skill, conversation, speech, and so on that about the English language. On the other hand, these kinds of the Learning Central also can teach the children about the team spirit, help to each other, and the polite of the social. In addition, to do that, every parent should give some motivate and push their children to reading and speaking in English. Third, training. The children or the students who want to improve the English level can via the reading of the English book or listen the radio, which is the English station. This move is highly appropriated because the books will include many words that they never seen, more difficult, or always forgotten it. The children via these activities can improve their English as fast as possible if they were not to forgo it. On top of that, they can improve their English by watching the English movie or the English songs. This is the light of the fact that the children or the students can speak the English as fast as possible and not afraid of speaking it wrong. Third, fourth, conclusion. In this world, the language of the English was general and widespread in all countries and cities. The language of the English is the one language that can communication to others community form others countries or cities. If someone were being unfamiliar with the English language, they will be eliminated by others, even if they get dirty looks and ridiculed by others. As a result, mostly people that without the education of the English level were lower than others who were received the education of the English. As a matter of fact, the people who do not know how to speak in English, they will mix the other's language into a conversation. And this is the name as code switching. To prevent the code switching occurs and happen, everyone might improve the English level by training well as far as possible. Second to that, the school must pay attention to the students who was bad in English. Therefore, the school can take the action to solve and prevent the code switch occurs and happen into the school as fast as possible so as not to regret. And the students get the formal and correct English in learning. In addition, every teacher in the school may set oneself an example to other students, so that the students would not have a bad habit. Aside from that, besides in the school and teachers, parents also have the responsibility to correct and instill the right information to their own children, or they can send them to the learning central. This is due to the reason that the children can learn the correct information from the learning central and to reduce the wrong. On the other hand, parents may push and give some motivate to their children for reading the English books and watch the English drama or film. Introduction to mobile phone. The system of the cellular telephone is the way that providing portable phone service. Every mobile phone was connected by a radio link to a base station. In contrast, the link that like to the mobile phones network, which is the biggest machine in the planet. In addition to that, for the radio link, there is nothing special because it was used for many years. What is smart is that the cellular system, because the base station were covered with the limit area. And once that the cellular system, because the base station were covered with a limit area. And once the mobile phones were moved away, the mobile phone still can connect because the connection is through the neighbor base. Above all, this system is called pass to a teammate, and it allows all the mobile phones at the same time. It is also allowed the use the base of frequency that nearby. Apart from that, in the world of the globalization and the modernization, every community and people were having their own phone, and even the children too. On top of that, in 1982, the first automatic mobile phone service was launched in Australia, and with the first cellular mobile phone service following too. And now, in the world that globalization and modernization the technology has become central of our everyday culture and life with day and day. Nowadays, the mobile phone was invented too many kinds, like the smartphones. And now the mobile phone was brings many convenience to the community and people. We can call someone as easily as we can. Besides the call, we have the text messaging, we chat, Line, Facebook, so on the apps for communication so that we can get the information or the data as fast as possible that we receive. Furthermore, the mobile phone also can use the routine work, like for the stocks, schedules, dictionary, alarm, and everything that we want if we can find on the mobile phones. Due to the reason that is because of our work, we ignore our health life and everything like exercise, having a meal on time, reminder. In addition, we also have a video call to each other when we overseas or have a chat together. In the past, the person in the world does not have any communication because the technology not develops very well. Or maybe we have to call to relatives or friends. The communication are using by the telegraph. On the other hand, they also get the important data or information by writing a letter. Long time ago, when the mobile phone was invented, they cannot have a FaceTime to each other. They need a date for gathering, party, and so on. Sometimes, we want to get the data or information that we want. We need to have a research in the library, and this is some more trouble to them. These are the advantages of bringing mobile phones to classroom. First, emergency. Students that have mobile phones in hand that cannot enable someone assistance to someone when face emergency. Many studies have pointed out that the incidents that mostly occur in the school, like first aid, fire, get violence in the school, kidnapping, and many possible that will happen in the school. When those students face those problems or these kinds of difficult, they can call someone as fast as possible. Second, parents' contact. The school shall allow every student to carry their own phone because of the necessary from parents. For instance, the emergency from a family, the career problem, or the student's arrangement with different. They may have called to each other ability. Sometimes, students can request by a call because of the forgotten bringing the books, project, assignment, or sometime vital. Third, children location. Mostly, mobile phones that has including the GPS sensor, the position of the mobile phone that has including the introduce the places in details. Moreover, parent can use it for pay more close attention for their child's whereabouts. GPS sensor also provides the peace of mind to every parent and teacher for the missing students and children. Fourth, memory aids. These days, mostly of the mobile phones have the camera so that the children or students can capture the notes or picture by using the camera. Due to the reason, this is more effective to having all the notes and not missing one. To further illustrate on this point, most students will focus on copy the note and miss the what the lecture talking about the lesson, or sometimes students pay attention to the lecture but neglect the notes. Fifth, learning aids. Students can use the smartphones when the lesson or class. They can use the apps of the education which is assist and designed for the students. Based on the survey, the entire education program was similar and easy for learning and study. If a student needs to search some datum for their work without the laptop or computer, they can use their phone immediately. 6. Dictionary. When students face words that never seen before or do not understand the meaning of it, they need to search the meaning of it in the dictionary but forgotten to bring it or don't want to bring it because of its weight. Students may use their dictionary in their smartphones. This is because it can lighten the weight of bag and save the time to search it because it's more easy and fast. 7. Calendar. Almost every mobile phone has built-in the calendar function. For students, it could be difficult to memorize everything, such as the date of exam or pass up the homework, the deadline of pass up of the project or assignment. So they can use this function to organize or distribute an alert for reminds them so that they will never forget it. 8. Voice notes. Students may use the mobile phone's recording. The pros of using voice recording functions are faster to notes down and record all important things. And it is the best to quickly way to track what they need to do and what they should do. It is no denying that students not always have a direct notepad to note it. So the use of the mobile phones is useful to write down the important things. 9. Calculator. Most of the phone maintains the function of calculator. Mostly the high school need a calculator in the math course because they have many things to calculate such as the most calculation that we always use like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. 10. Internet access. The one function in the mobile phone that most attract the students when break. Besides, it was a functional tool to every student who studies in college or university. But some of the classroom cannot surf the internet, so they need to bring the data for search the relevant information to complete the project or exercise. Conclusion. It goes without saying that this implying this method will bring about a positive outcome on their studies. Although some of the students may not pay attention in class because of he or she keep playing their phone. Due to the reason, most of the teachers or lecturers were feeling annoyed about this case. Henceforth, they set a law that not allow students bringing their mobile phone to the school. Once they bring it, or the staff and lecturer discover, university will punish them. For example, they will give a warning letter, a verbal warning, or else will seizure it. Therefore, we should think about from the perspective of the students. To be frank, mostly students will not understand the difficult words. They do not brave to ask their teacher or lecturer, so they just can keep quiet and passive. Second, to that, the college or university life was more stress and pressure than the primary and secondary school. The students need to rush for their assignment so that they may need the mobile phone to complete everything. We can take the example of the students who always search the relevant information from the website. If they forget to bring their laptop or no laptop, the only way to search at website is using the mobile phone. Last but not the least, students also can get the homework or information from the websites as fast as possible. As such, all the college or university shall support all the students bring their phones to college as university and not ban them to bringing it to college or university.